So climate change. It's undeniably the big one, impacting pretty much everything.
Absolutely.
And what's really entering the conversation now, and our source material today digs right into this, is artificial intelligence. AI's role in tackling it.
Yeah, it's cropping up all over.
We're seeing it proposed in, well, all sorts of solutions.
And what's interesting, looking at the UN's approach in our source, is that the main game plan is really twofold.
Yeah.
First, cut the greenhouse gases causing the problem.
Right. Mitigation.
And second, adapt to the climate impacts that are, frankly, already locked in,
Yeah.
are coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
And AI, it turns out, could potentially play a pretty significant part in both areas.
Absolutely. The source highlights some really fascinating opportunities here for researchers, for policymakers.
Yeah.
It suggests AI can help us grasp climate dynamics more deeply, maybe fine-tune what we're already doing.
And maybe even spot totally new ways forward.
Exactly. New approaches for cutting emissions and building resilience against the impacts.
And think about the sheer amount of data. I mean, climate data is immense, right? Satellite images, atmospheric readings.
It's overwhelming.
Totally. And the source really emphasizes how AI is just built for sifting through that volume in ways humans, simply couldn't manage alone.
Like finding hidden patterns.
Precisely. Spotting subtle signals that might warn us about new climate risks or tell us if a particular strategy is actually working on the ground.
And this is where it gets really complex, and the source definitely doesn't gloss over this.
No, it doesn't.
These sophisticated AI systems, they're not exactly problem-free themselves. They bring up new social challenges, practical hurdles, and maybe most critically, they use a lot of energy.
That's the kicker, isn't it? Their own carbon footprint.
Which means they could actually add to the very emissions we're desperately trying to reduce.
Exactly right. It creates this real paradox. Could the tool we're using to fix the problem actually make part of it worse? Our source points directly at that tension, AI's potential to help and hinder the climate fight, affecting, both people and the planet.
So, okay, the goal for this deep dive is pretty straightforward then. We need to unpack the source, really look at both sides of the coin.
What are the genuine upsides?
Yeah, what can AI realistically offer in the climate fight? And just as importantly, what are the real-world challenges, the potential downsides we absolutely need to keep front of mind?
And what the source makes clear right away is that AI's impact isn't predetermined. It's not a given.
No.
It really hinges on how we decide to build these things and put them to use.
Right. So the central takeaway, boiling down this source, seems to be this. And it's a big if we can manage AI's energy thirst, its broader environmental effects, its carbon footprint, and navigate all the practical and ethical stuff, then it genuinely holds significant promise. It could really boost both mitigation, cutting those emissions, and adaptation, so preparing for the changes already underway.
It just hammers home that dual nature we were talking about.
Yeah.
It's an incredibly powerful tool, AI, amazing analysis, prediction capabilities. But like any powerful tool, it needs very careful handling. We need to be crystal clear on the risks.
So for you listening, what's the key message here? It really highlights this delicate balancing act we're facing.
Yeah.
We've got this potentially transformative technology for the climate crisis, but its actual effectiveness, its ultimate net impact, that's not guaranteed at all.
Not by a long shot.
It really depends on the choices we're making right now about how we develop it, how we deploy it.
Which brings us, I think, to a final thought for you to maybe chew on after this.
Okay.
Given this really intricate, tangled relationship between AI and climate change, what do you think are the absolute most critical, practical things we need to get right? What frameworks do we need to build to make sure AI's benefits truly outweigh its potential harms as we try to safeguard our future?
It's a huge question.
It is definitely complex and no easy answers there.